we are just seeing the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. He has been meeting with his Singaporean counterpart and is just about to hold a news conference. Let's take you there live.
The world are transnational and the solutions must be transnational. Today we open a new chapter in the comprehensive strategic partnership between Australia and Singapore. The Green Economy Agreement signals collective resolve to confront challenges as we transition our economies to net zero. It will support clean energy innovation, unlock business opportunities and create jobs, and help deliver our emissions targets while positioning Australia as a renewable energy superpower. Our commitment to work towards a food pact will shore up reliable and secure supply chains and provide certainty for Australian exporters. We also discussed the strategic outlook and our commitment to a free, open and resilient region. I do want to thank Prime Minister Lee and thank him not just for the formal interaction that we've had here today, but also for the dinner where Jodie and myself hosted the Prime Minister and Mrs Lee last night at the Lodge in what was a very enjoyable occasion indeed. I have had the great privilege and honour of being a guest in Singapore on many occasions over a number of decades now, and it's wonderful to welcome a great friend of Australia, Prime Minister, here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister. Good afternoon to everybody. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his warm hospitality and to express how happy I am to be back in Canberra again in person, meeting Australian leaders and particularly Prime Minister Albanese. We talked about many things, but we in particular affirmed our comprehensive strategic partnership, which has made significant progress since it was set up in 2015. And our bilateral cooperation has proceeded apace even during COVID-19. In fact, Singapore was the second country that Australia opened its doors to for quarantine-free travel, and we formed the fourth largest group of short-term visitors to Australia in the first half of this year, which, considering there are only 5.5 million odd people in Singapore, is not bad. We greatly appreciate Australia's generous and consistent support for our military training. It has fully resumed, and we're very happy that our units are present here and able to be of assistance to the Australian government in times of need, for example, during natural disasters and floods. I mentioned to the Prime Minister just now that Singapore is ready to provide assistance to support the Australian Defence Forces flood relief efforts for the floods in New South Wales and Victoria, and whatever else may develop in the season. And our officials will be in touch to work out how we can be most helpful. We've also worked on other areas to take our bilateral cooperation further, for example, in the Singapore-Australia Green Economy Agreement, which will support the transitions of our countries to net zero emissions and at the same time boost growth and create jobs in the green sectors. It's the first such agreement of its kind between countries, and we hope that it will be a pathfinder for other countries similarly to cooperate with one another to deal with what is a global problem. We are also deepening our cooperation in science and innovation. Our agencies, A*STAR on Singapore side and the CSIRO on the Australian side, have signed a master research collaboration agreement to collaborate in areas like low emission technologies, alternative proteins, and advanced manufacturing, as well as an agreement which will allow Singapore researchers to use Australia's synchrotron facilities, all of which will further deepen linkages between scientists on both sides. We are also exploring new areas of cooperation because we are natural partners which have similar views on many issues, and trusted and reliable partners of each other, which we have demonstrated during the pandemic. So we're looking at new strategic areas of cooperation, such as strengthening the security and resilience of our supply chains, including on food and energy, and our connectivity to the rest of the world. And we will also look into facilitating the flow of critical goods between us in times of crisis. And we formed up a working group to look into this matter. We also exchange views on regional and global developments. Australia is a key partner for our region. Singapore has long strongly supported Australia strengthening links with Southeast Asia, and we very much welcome Prime Minister Albanese's efforts to deepen this engagement and look forward to him participating in the ASEAN, the APEC, and the G20 meetings, which are taking place in Southeast Asia in a few weeks' time. Therefore, I'm very happy that the relations between our two countries have remained strong. It's a troubled world. Given the tensions in the world, it's important that like-minded countries work together for our mutual benefit, and I look forward to working with Prime Minister Albanese and his government to take our bilateral relations to even greater heights.